And I want to bring in Brian Claypool now, as we expect Bryan Kohberger will appear before a judge this morning in a status hearing. And we should mention, Brian, that this is a minor court session, right? There's not a lot that we can learn from this, but there's so much attention on this case that it's critical that at every juncture we're paying attention. I'm interested in what they'll be doing. You say defense lawyers for Kohberger have a crucial decision to make at this status hearing. Explain what and why.
Yeah, hey, Marni, great to be with you. Even though today is a scheduling hearing, it's a monumental hearing in this legal process. Just because you're arrested doesn't mean you automatically go to a jury trial. You have this intervening hearing called a preliminary hearing, which they're going to discuss today. What's a preliminary hearing? What's really important, because it forces prosecutors to put on substantial evidence of each and every element of the crime charged against Kohberger. Why is that important to the defense? Because that gives them a preview of what the evidence is going to be at trial. And that's really, really important to Kohberger. So I expect the first thing on the agenda today, Marni, to be when are we going to have this preliminary hearing? And Kohberger, do you want the preliminary hearing? I would be shocked if Kohberger waives the preliminary hearing.
And do you expect a plea, guilty, not guilty, at this?
No, absolutely not. I don't think you're ever going to see a plea in this case at all. I think
really? Why?
Well, because he's facing 4 counts of first-degree murder, spending his entire life in jail. He's already come out, and his lawyers, for example, Marni, have told him to invoke his Fifth Amendment right to not speak to the police. His lawyers have come out and said, we're going to fight this case. So I do not expect a guilty plea. And look, I think the most important point here for Kohberger to have a preliminary hearing is so that he can see, again, what is the evidence? For example, do prosecutors have more forensic evidence? That's the big thing. Is there any of his blood, for example, on the mattress? Is there any of the victim's blood, for example, in his car, or any hair fibers in his car? And we also need to see if there's any direct DNA evidence on that leather sheath that you all have talked about as well.
Right. So that's the big unknown. We don't know if there is DNA evidence connecting Kohberger to the victim somewhere else. I mean, they've got this tiny piece of DNA that was found on the button of the sheath that then was linked back to his dad based on court records. But will they find any DNA of the victims in his car, in his home? Will they find any of his DNA inside the home? I'm curious. They cleared that crime scene. It was something that we were watching them do weeks and weeks ago. If the defense wants to go back and look at the crime scene, it's tampered with, right? It's not even there anymore.
Yeah, that's a great point, Marni. You don't want evidence to be contaminated. And that's going to be one of the defenses that Kohberger's lawyers are going to make. That you modified the crime scene. You had people, visitors at the crime scene between 4 a.m. and noon. And defense lawyers, just so your viewers know, they have a constitutional right to access to the evidence and to do their own testing, for example, of the mattress, to do destructive testing of the floor. Remember, there's an alleged footprint of Kohberger. They need to test that as well. They need to determine whether any evidence was tampered with by either other guests or potentially paramedics. And one other quick point I wanted to make, Marni, is this is a really important phase too, because under Idaho law, a preliminary hearing's got to be set within 14 days of the first court hearing of Kohberger, which surprises me because we're already coming up on 14 days. So this needs to be set quickly, and that is an advantage to Kohberger's defense team, because it forces prosecutors to get all of this forensic testing done in a very quick and expedited manner to be able to put up that evidence at the preliminary hearing.
Wow. Well, there's going to be a lot, certainly, that we learn if and when this thing goes to trial, and the evidence that investigators have that was not included in that affidavit. Really interesting, very sad for the families involved. This is just another phase of a nightmare that they will live with forever. Trial attorney Brian Claypool, thank you for your perspective. We'll be talking more about it. We'll leave it there for now. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.